If you find this video, this is exactly what you need. When someone asks us who we are, we usually say our name, where we are from, and maybe a few details of what we do. Unless it is someone with whom the conversation cruises deeper, we don't really announce the deeper unseen layers within us, and it works vice versa as well. We don't often get to see the multiple layers within someone else. And yet of late, the one thing that I keep asking myself is, how many of my own deeper layers am I truly aware of? Because I'm the only constant in my life. I'm the one person that spends the most amount of time with myself. So how many of my own thoughts and feelings do I really know about myself? How many of them do I really keep from myself? And how many of them do I truly accept for what they are? Of course, knowing ourselves is a lifelong game. We are never mere winners or losers in it. But I've learned that we are just observers who are on a monumental internal journey. So the more I tried to peel through the layers and see, I found 3 things, or 3 statements, or 3 ideas, or whatever you want to call them. 3 simple things that helped me understand that I was on the right track and that I was doing okay, even on days where it didn't feel like it. The first step is nourishing your sense of self. And I feel that is the most rewarding thing you can do. If you really take a moment to bifurcate yourself from everything else that is external, you will find a sense of quietude. And in that sense of quietude, you will find yourself shining through. Developing the sense of self is actually a profound process, opposed to how simple it may sound at the outset. It is also not something that is always a very conscious action or thought within us. Yet when that sense of self is deprived of nourishment, not by anyone else or any external factor, but rather from our own selves, when we underestimate that sense of nourishment and care that we need to give ourselves, I think it is nothing short of a betrayal. And I have been in the deepest end of that betrayal, so I know how limiting it feels. Our self-identity grows and develops, changes, moves, and alchemizes depending on where we live, where we come from, our faith, our religious beliefs, our culture, our education, and a whole lot of other factors. It's a mirror that reflects our hopes for the future and our lens of the past. But irrespective of all these external factors, we do have the choice at any given moment to change and reshape our perspective, not for any grand achievement or accolade, but for the simple reason of making ourselves more comfortable and warm within our hearts. And it is a great power we hold within us. Because again, at the end of the day, remember, you are the only constant in your life. The second is about limiting beliefs. I mean, who hasn't struggled with limiting beliefs, right? There's so much spoken out there about limiting beliefs that we hold within us. If I have to pick out and share one thing that I have found helpful, it is that you have to always be aware that any limiting beliefs you have is actually not yours. It is an external voice that you have let stay for too long in your head. It is something that you have learned. It is someone else's ill-informed perspective about you that you have accepted as your own reality. So anytime you catch yourself thinking negatively about yourself, however small, just remind yourself that it's not your thought. It is external and borrowed and learned. It's like an old bubble gum that is stuck in your mind, and you have the power to peel it off immediately. Trust me, it is not easy because of course I have been there. One of the things that I struggled with was being called as not very smart when I was younger. And I think that has stuck with me for so long that when I started to heal that inner conditioning, I realized how wrongly I had judged myself in several situations just because of that one comment. So no matter how deep or raw your negative conditioning is, just realizing that it is not true, it is not yours, is actually half the battle won. And finally, it is to have a clear distinction between the past and the present and not to let them overlap. I know, for the universe, time is a constant and the brain doesn't know what is now, what is later. But on the personal level, it is important to start keeping your past and your present separate instead of subconsciously superimposing the past onto the present. Something didn't work out last time? Well, that doesn't mean that it will not work out this time. Something went wrong the last time you tried? Well, it could be a great success this time around. So yes, in this sense, you literally throw the so-called negatives of the past out the window. Again, easier said than done. But still, if you are aware of this or if you have even started working towards it, I think it is a wonderful win. Yes, even the past mistakes and failures have something valuable to teach us for sure. But you don't let that past reality be your present reality by default. In my personal experience, if you can even be aware of these 3 statements, you have started to get a much better hold on your own reality and you have started to find more groundedness within you. So yes, if you have any doubt in your mind, be assured that you are doing okay and it will all be okay.